we just got done with practice. Obviously, a little humid today. Guys are battling through. You're at that time at camp where all of a sudden you've been out there going against each other a lot. And I think today, our guys understand they got to push through, and they did. So after another good practice against our defense and watching our special teams go, it was some good things today.
I think you just had your first official scrimmage just recent. What were some takeaways from that, just as the team is progressing?
I just think we're making strides. Obviously, we've got a lot of pieces that we're putting in place. But I think the guys are taking coaching, working hard at it, and competing against our defense. And our defense is doing a good job of giving us a lot of different looks. So every day we have to come out there prepared and ready to go.
Kind of big picture, you obviously spent a lot of time in the NFL, and the last few years have transitioned to the college game. I guess, what can you take from being around NFL offenses into the college game, and what's different about college?
Well, what's different about college is there's a lot of more things you can do, from a formation standpoint. Obviously, NFL game is a little bit different that way, but it's still football. It's still 11 guys out there playing, and your 11 got to be better than their 11. That's what it comes down to.
What do you like from your quarterback room so far?
I think guys are working hard. They're competing. Obviously, everybody has different skill sets, so we try to play to the strength of that particular player. But I think they've taken the offense. They're working at it each and every day. And obviously, Pearson is a returning starter, and he's done a good job thus far.
How is your role different? Because I think technically last year you were a consultant. I don't know how to word it. I don't know how the college game it changes. But now
Right.
you officially are the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
How has your role changed within the dynamics, interaction with players? More interaction, maybe just more structured?
A lot more interaction, obviously. So I lead that room. I lead that, side of the room, I should say, the offensive side and our coaches. But obviously all the strategy is still run through Coach McGee. It's his plan and what we're trying to do. But at the same time, I just get to head that piece of it up. So that's a lot different than what I was doing a year ago.
What was it about Coach McGee that made you want to come be a part of this project at Georgia State?
And just, where he comes from, what he stands for, the characteristics of the man. I think he's a tremendous leader. I think he cares about his players. I think he cares about his coaches. That's first and foremost. And then obviously he's won everywhere he's ever been. So I think anytime you can find those characteristics in a coach and a leader, you want to be a part of that. So it's been fun.
Coach McGee says it seemed like we had a level of comfort this season because last year was coming in, everything was falling into place.
Mm-hmm.
Players, coaches. Thoughts about this spring leading into this
Right. I think, coming in mid-year when he came in a year ago, I would think that's difficult for any coach, and definitely for a guy like Coach McGee. But then now being able to go through a full season, then go through a full season of recruiting, understand your players, understand the environment, everything that's going on. Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot more comfort for him in everything he's trying to do right now.
Also about recruiting, and it seems like he's pleased with what he's been able to assemble, especially with the offensive line. What's your observation of the line?
We're bigger. I think we're stronger. I think we're a little bit more talented than we were a year ago, but you never know until you play, right? Until you play an opponent. But I think we've done a great job in recruiting, and now we need to show that as we start to play.
Obviously, everyone now knows what Ted is able to do on a football field after what he did last season. What was you and your offensive staff's message to him to maybe take that next step, whatever that looks like?
Right. You just said it. Take the next step. You can't go backwards. He's Ted Hurst, and so you want your great players to play really good. They need to in order for your team to win, and that's what our expectation is for him, and I'm sure that's what he expects of himself.
And I guess having a guy like that might be the first name on the list for when opposing defenses are scouting for this team, what does that do for the rest of the room as far as maybe he's going to get a bracket here or there and it can open up other?
Oh, yeah, they're going to chase him, that's for sure. I would make sure that I put the best defensive players on him because you got to shut him down. So, that's another challenge for us as an offensive staff because we'll go as he goes. So we got to find ways to make sure we get it. But like you said, there's going to be other players that's got to do their part, too, in order for our offense to function well.
What's about the run game and some of the talent that's been assembled for the running back room?
Oh, absolutely. There's some talented guys back there, and we want to run the football. I truly believe you throw the score, but you got to run to win, So we have some guys that are dynamic that we can hand the ball to, and they got to make those plays. But there's only one football, right? So that will be a challenge, but it's a fun challenge.
as competition keeps going through camp, when does it start maybe formalizing guys who are going to play this certain role, at least at the start of the season?
Well, I think that's Coach McGee's question. I think he'll make those decisions as we go. My job is just keep leading this offense and getting them better each and every day. He'll take care of those things.
What are some things you're looking for here in the closing few days before the season starts?
I'm sorry?
What are you looking for from this offense?
I just that we have touched all the different situations that happen, in football, that our guys understand what it takes to play a game, right? 65 to hopefully 70 plays in a game, just that consistency that it's going to take to be really, really good in order to go win football games. And so I think we talk about it all the time. Haven't had to do it yet, but we talk about it, but we're looking forward to it.
The exact number of offensive guys that have come from all the way through winter to now, I don't know, but it's a lot of guys, especially versus last year in the middle of spring practice. What has that meant as far as kind of cohesion, getting to install things over a gradual period of time?
It's been really important. I think that's been one of the cornerstone pieces of what we're doing because the system hasn't changed, so the guys have been able to hit the ground running, and other guys who have been here have been able to help the new guys that have come in. I think that's important too, because now they understand what that looks like and what it should be, and so they're able to have those conversations with them away from here, which I think helps your offensive football team get better.
Yeah, just coming off the field with some situational football today, as well as a few team periods. The guys are fighting through. It's been camp for sure, so they are doing what they are asked to do, and we just got to get them to understand that game one is going to be a high-level competition, and that's exactly how we got to practice. But I'm pleased with what they're trying to accomplish and the way they're trying to accomplish as the coaches have put it in place. So I'm pleased with what we see.
We've spoken to a couple of players and Coach McGee, and all of them mentioned your positivity, just your energy. I guess, why do you want to bring that energy? Why do you see as that maybe the important thing to bring as the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I know motivation is a great starter, but it's not a great engine. But I try to let those guys know that, I do this for the love of it, and I want them to understand that. I want them to feel the passion that I have because this game has been in my life for a long, long time. And so when I came in and as a new guy in February, I wanted those guys to know I'm here for you, I'm here for this team, and I'm here for Coach McGee to help us be winners. And so I try to bring a positive attitude and a positive set of energies to these guys every day so they don't understand that we waste no moments.
What do you take away from your experiences at Troy the previous few seasons, working on that staff, working in the conference? What can you bring? What experience would that bring to this position here at Georgia State?
Well, working at Troy under John Summerall was awesome. Understanding the keys to winning and the mentality to win. What I want the kids to understand that's a mentality. It's a mindset. Winning is a mindset, and it's tough because you have to bring that mindset every day. So from Troy, I brought that winning mindset that we had every day when we brought in our lunch pail to work. We were ready to win. It wasn't no off days. It wasn't any, I don't feel good. It was, hey, everybody's got to work toward this common goal, and that's winning. And that's what we did. So that was a great experience. And hopefully I can pass it on to these young men here and we can get that same result.
Has that helped just transitioning to this program, being familiar with the conference and game planning against some common opponents as you progress through the year?
Yeah, it's been great. Of course, I was at South Alabama for 3 years too in this conference. So the familiarities are the same. And, it's what I told the guys, hey, look, I know what this conference is about on both sides of the ball because I played them. So I think that's going to help me a ton to help them by being in this conference for 6 years.
What are kind of the core tenets of what you want this defense to do, just philosophically?
Philosophically, we're going to be a defense that gets off the field on third down, and we're going to be a defense that hit and run and apply pressure. I want to play fast. I want to play physical. I also want to keep the ball inside and in front. So it's a mindset with that too. The mindset is play physical, give great effort, and the rest will take care of itself.
You had Ian, Henry, Deuce all back on the front. You got Demaine and Josiah back. And obviously this is a new job for you, but if you notice kind of that continuity that is there in the front seven?
Yes. When I got here, I was a new guy trying to learn them all, but just watching Deuce, Funch grow, and Demain Grow and Josiah, it's been great. I mean, because those guys are the bell cows, and Henry is, dynamite come in small packages. And so I love the way they compete, I love the way they fight, and I love the way they step out front and lead.
I feel like defense maybe a little ahead of the offense because of that continuity.
Well, I wouldn't say that because Coach Jackson he is a brilliant mind with offense, with formations and schemes that can get you in a pickle. So I wouldn't say that. I would say that he and I have done a great job of just trying to battle each other and make us better, because he gives me great looks that I may or may not see, and I try to do the same for him. And plus, it's just been great to work with him because he's so football knowledgeable about all this stuff.
How's it feel being back in the state of Georgia? You spent some time as a DC at Cole County in high school, but now you're back in the state. Have you been able to just kind of get back to, I'm sure you started recruiting already and just kind of looking at the talent. What's it like being back in the state of Georgia in this current position?
Yeah, it's been great, man. The state of Georgia is a factory for football players. High school football is really something. I can remember when I went to Colquitt and I called one of my friends from home. I was like, hey, the football's a little different here, guys. It's a little different. So just being back in and the relationships that I made while I was there at Colquitt and calling them back, they're still coaches, and to be able to get some good players from Colquitt County, the Tiftons, the Coffee, Camdens, that all those guys that I was able to build relationships with, it's been great.
Secondaries where you have your position coach experiencing, maybe a little bit less guys coming back there, but some talented players. What do you like from that group, and what do you want from your secondary in general as a defense?
Yeah, secondary, we got to play. Our rule number 2 is deep ball down. We got to keep it inside and front. And when you're back there, I think our safeties are getting it. They're playing very well now, and our corners are long, and we run. And they're just technical stuff we're working on. Continue to preach identification of formations, all the stuff that you need to be successful out there on that island. So I think that our secondary is coming on, and they're trying to understand what this defense calls for. And I know, hey, I'm the new guy and trying to learn a new system, but I think there's coming along with it, and I think they're embracing it.
Any other questions?
I have a unique question, and just doing my research, I saw history in the Arena Football League.
Yeah.
Being named to the all 15-year team.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Is there any translation from your experiences as a player and being a really good player, a great player at that level to this collegiate game?
Yeah, it is. Even though it was 8-man football, it taught me a lot about the game, because 8-man football, you really have to be technical because there's not a lot of room. The field is 50 yards long. I tell you that playing that game really helped me mold as a young man, as a coach, and just being in there with the kind of guys that I played with. I played with some really big names that left the NFL and came and played arena football, so it was great. And I took those things I learned from arena football and I incorporated, because I was a high school football coach as well while I was doing the arena football. So it was a great deal. I enjoyed it.
Is it just as far as technique and just on the field, is there some tangible things that you see some crossover with some of the guys you're coaching now on the defensive end?
Yeah, like, you got 3 DBs. You got 3 receivers, 3 DBs. It's kind of like a little backyard football. So, you have to be able to pass routes off and stuff we do now in our defense. We pass routes off, and then you have to be able to cover on the deep ball. So, yeah, all that stuff comes into play in the field. I just tell them all the time, it's only 8 players and the field will just shrink, but it's still football.
What are you hoping to see over the next couple weeks as camp wraps up to get ready for the season?
Continue to grow as a defense. Continue to get better at the scheme. And, again, effort. Just play with great effort, great assignment, great alignment. And we continue to do that throughout the course of this camp and throughout the year. I think they can find success.